and welcome to the Jags cast, our first ever European specials for the Euros, obviously, which start on Friday, with Turkey and Italy opening the group stages. We're delighted to be joined by Freddie, Alan and myself. Delighted to be joined by Freddy Frans, who, believe it or not, 1 year ago it was next weekend since we last spoke on the Jags cast. So it's brilliant. I can't believe the timing to get you back on. And a lot has happened, obviously, since then. First and foremost, how are you and how's the family?
I'm really good. The family as well. We moved house a few weeks ago. So we've got a big garden now. Before we were in a flat. So it's really nice, especially in the summer. So yeah, brilliant. Life is good.
Plenty of Jack will keep you in your toes.
Yeah, that's why we're so happy with the garden, because Jack needs a garden. Just open the door, go outside, Jack, do your thing, and spread your energy, because he's crazy, man.
What age is he now, Freddie?
He's 3 and 2 months, so yeah, 3 years old.
Yeah, so a lot of energy. That's
he's in school also. Like last week, we took him a few days off school because we went on a small holiday to the Belgium coast. And yesterday we brought him back in school, and the teacher was like, that was a nice, quiet week for me. So, he's
Can you go for 2 weeks next time?
Yeah. She probably lets us go, like, oh, go take Jack, don't worry.
Well, when we spoke last time, obviously it was the middle of the pandemic, and it still is, I suppose, when we look at the situation. But your season, it was kind of on a little bit of a knife edge. You didn't know whether it was going to be promotion playoffs or not promotion playoffs. Well, I'll tell you what, it was a promotion playoffs, and you win it. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's everything that happened after our talk. The perfect scenario happened. So yeah, really happy with the last year since we spoke. So
yep, and of course the start to the season, the team made wow. I mean, it looked at one point as though you really were going to actually win the league, because you were going so well for so long. I mean, for about I would say first 3 months of the season, you were top 2, top 3 right throughout. You were scoring goals.
Yeah.
No surprise, Raymond.
No, so yeah, it all goes back to like with the promotion final, like we spoke about, and because it was cut in half because of the pandemic, we had to wait so long to play our second promotion final, and we prepared as a team extra long, and somehow it made like a big bond in between the team, and we all worked towards the goal, and then obviously we won the promotion final. We were the champions of the league, and you know how it is when you play as champions together. It creates something special. And then we started the new season. I think we won the first 3 games. We won away to Club Brugge. We beat Jack Henry's team. We were flying, and then with all players every week, 10 of the 11 players were from the promotion final, the same starting 11. So and then until the end of November, we were first in the league. So it was unbelievable. After 18 games, like the promoted team was first in the league. So but then came beginning of December, and then we had Corona. 22 players had Corona, and so then we had a lot of games that were cancelled. But then obviously you can only cancel in Belgium if you had 7 cases. So after a few weeks, we only had like 5-6 cases, but important players. So we had to play games, but we had to play the games with like some boys had maybe 1 or 2 trainings in the last 3 weeks in their legs. So then we went on a run of 2 points in 21. And obviously then we dropped a little bit, a lot down, not a lot, but we dropped till 6th or something. Then we lost our coach. He went to the MLS, to DC United. New coach came. He was a very good coach as well. And we stayed all the time, like between 5th and 6th spot. And so in Belgium, you need to end up with the first 8 to play for Europe. And on the last game of the season, we were still 5th. So we were in a good position, but we had to go to Standard Liège. We lost that game, and all the other results went against us. So we dropped from 5th to 9th in in literally last season.
Finish.
You know, that's quite a season though, because you know the start was amazing and what happened afterwards was very dramatic. So what a season, you know.
To be honest, it was amazing because in Belgium 18 teams and you come in 9th, everybody would have signed for that, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And if I'm be honest, at the end you could see our team they were tired, you know, because we were playing longer already because of those promotion finals than all the other teams. We lost a coach. We also, in January, on the last day of the transfer window, we lost our best player, the striker, and that killed us a lot as well. But obviously, he was end of his contract, so the club could take some money on him. So it's normal they did it, and we were safe. So, and we beat Club Brugge, we beat Anderlecht, we beat Genk, 2 times Genk. We beat every top team. So as a small club, what do you want? You want a good season where you have like a few games where you beat the big teams. So
really, it sounds like quite a season altogether. And I guess, you know, if you'd ended up 9th, but the season had played out differently, you'd have taken that. But 100%. The expectation was high because you started so well, I suppose, you know.
You know how it goes, eh? I know in November they were doing interviews with us about like, could this be the first promoted team that becomes champion? Because everyone, it was crazy. We were the highest scoring team in Europe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was more than Bayern Munich. We were winning games 5-2, 6-2, because the coach we had was an Argentinian guy, and he literally didn't care about defense. So all the time, I was alone in the back. So we played it like a 3-5-2, but it was more like a 1-7. Crazy. So I was literally probably the only, because the other 2 centre backs next to me, they were supposed to go always overlapping and stuff. Can you imagine center backs overlapping? So it was beautiful, man. We have 5-2 at home to Genk, 6-2 to Strada. So people loved it.
It sounds like a great season. It does, you know, but those results themselves, and obviously playing attacking football.
Yeah, that's what people want to see, I think.
It's easier said that's exactly.
Done, but, it was amazing, man. So good.
As I say, we're all following it. All Thistle fans still follow your career and anybody else's, but you know, especially with the season, you know, it hadn't. And I do remember having brief chats and WhatsApp groups and stuff like that, and going, God, I can't believe how well Freddy's going, and even remember talking to Banzo about it and saying,
really nice
and stuff like that, you know. Really, really good, you know, and everybody was so invested in it. Was like Alan says, but the disappointment of, you know, that last day of the season, did that mask what had happened before, or do you look at it as a case of, well, do you know something? We'd have taken this at the start, but we've, you know, missing out in Europe by, what was it? Was it goal difference, or was it 1 point?
Yeah, goal difference.
Goal difference.
Yeah. It goes both ways, you know. Obviously, you're happy with the season, and like you say, before the season you would have taken that. But if you see the season, you dream of a little bit more, you know, like going in Europe and stuff. But if I'm honest, the last weeks we didn't look good, you know, because if we ended up with the first 8, we had we had to play some more playoff games.
Yes.
And I think there were 6 more games, we wouldn't have gotten many points, I think.
No.
You see in the last games of the season already, if we got a result, it was really like last minute penalty. It was like a 1-0, so we changed as a team as well, because in the end we didn't score a lot anymore. We lost our best strike. We didn't score anymore. But so it's a good season. We also had like one of the players, Holzhauser, he came second best player in the league. He's a midfielder, 17 goals, 17 assists. So he became Austrian international. So in a lot of ways, perfect season. The only bad thing was that we didn't celebrate it with fans.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
Obviously, that was the picture all over, you know.
Yeah, we become champion. No party, nothing. Not even greeting your fans, you know. Because I remember we drove back to Antwerp after the final. Police everywhere. So that nothing would. There would be nothing of a party or anything. No fans would be there. Then all the games we won. Yeah, in September there was a period where we had like 2,000 fans allowed or something.
There was fans at one point.
Yeah,
briefly,
but
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that was literally like 6 weeks or something, and then a new wave from the corona came and finished again. So that's probably the biggest disappointment.
What's it like, playing in front of, when you're used to playing in front of fans all the time? What's the dynamic like for yourselves when you there's just nobody there and you can hear that, you're hearing I suppose you can hear each other shouting it right enough, but
yeah, that's what everybody says, like, Freddy, we're watching the TV and we only hear you. You're always shouting. You're shouting crap at the referee. You're shouting crap at the other players, at your own players. Now we hear what what people say when you're shouting. So even my wife, she was like, Freddy, I can hear you on the television, and they're not really nice words you're shouting, you know. Yeah, but it's, you get used to it a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose
it's gonna be strange again to get fans in, but yeah, it's in the beginning it felt like a friendly game a little bit sometimes. Like,
yeah, I think there was I think there was some games that I watched on TV that just didn't have the same pace, or the players just didn't. I don't know. They just couldn't concentrate on it properly. They couldn't really apply themselves because it just didn't seem like a proper game. But as it's gone on, I think everyone's get used to it.
Yeah.
And the games have picked up the pace, and it's just as competitive as ever, you know.
Yeah.
That's just from watching it, you know.
It's normal, eh? Even like we had a game, for example, against Antwerp, our biggest rival, and it was 0-0 around 80th minute, and in those games, if you're playing at home, the fans, 15,000 people will get behind you, and it's completely different. And then we got, in 1 minute, we got 2-0 behind. Then I score a second goal, so it's 2-1. And then, normally the place will explode, and you don't have this, now you have to
that push. You don't get that push from the sides.
So, but you get used to it as well. So, but anyway, let's hope it changes, because the thing about football, the atmosphere.
We do need fans back in grounds. You mentioned Jack Hendry, of course, who you came up against. Jack scored his first goal for his country on Thursday night, the Dutch. Did you talk much with Jack, off the field and stuff?
Yeah. So obviously when he signed, we started talking again. It was a long time ago we spoke. But Jack is like one of those guys. I always followed his career, I have this with probably all the boys that I played with in Thistle. So, and then we spoke a little bit, and we saw each other because we played against each other 2 times. Yeah. And the last time was at our place, and then in the end we swapped shirts, because my wife Valerie, she was like, "You have to swap shirts with Jack," because obviously we named Jack a little bit after Jack.
Right.
Yeah. So because when I played for Partick Thistle and Jack was there as well, Valerie was also like, Jack, he's a good-looking guy, and it's a nice name for a kid. So the connect, maybe it's a good name for our kid. And I told him, and he was like, "Oh, really?" So
he's had a very good season. Obviously, he's been very highly praised in Belgium. I know that.
Yeah. So there's the biggest newspaper. They always give you like quotations in the newspaper after every game. So, and the top 5 defenders, I was 5th, like after the season. So and he came in 1st. He was 1st. So they really he was good. I'm not gonna lie.
Just while we're on that subject, I was just going to say my brother's got a wee boy called Freddy. So
really?
I've got a nephew called Freddy Fraser.
Oh, nice.
It's not that far from Freddy Frans.
Freddy Frans, yeah. It's like
Nearly there. It's nearly there. I'll need to ask him whether he had you in mind. I've no idea, you know.
You never know.
Well, moving on to the Euros, which start on Friday, and when I looked, I thought, let's have a wee look through the Belgian squad. Realistically, when you look at the teams that are there is, I would say, only 3 countries probably who are potential winners, which is Belgium, France, and obviously Scotland. I'm looking at you look at the Belgian squad. I mean, these are household names everywhere. You know, Courtois, obviously, Madrid. Alderweireld's been at Spurs for years. You know, even Vertonghen and Denayer are you know, still in the squad. Then I looked at the midfield. Three Leicester City boys for the English Premiership.
Yeah, crazy.
Belgium, you know, and I think he's still ranked #1 in the world. Belgium.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I would think so. I think that's changed.
I haven't.
Looking at Castagna, Carrasco, Atletico, De Bruyne. Obviously, I mean, he's you know, standout. Meunier at Dortmund, Tielemans, Witsel at Dortmund as well. Tielemans at Leicester. Dennis Pratt, who's had a fantastic season. Two Crystal Palace attackers.
Batshuayi and Benteke.
And then you get Hazard, Lukaku, and Mertens. Obviously, they're the big one. And Trossard, who had a fantastic season at Brighton as well.
Oh, Trossard, he's very good. He's got something special. Yeah, he's got. To be honest, we got a great.
It's a phenomenal pool.
Yeah, it's crazy how many talent we have, and striker Lukaku is probably one of the best at the moment. And then for backup we got Batshuayi and so. But Batshuayi, he scores for the national team a lot. He maybe not scores for his clubs, but he scores for the national team. But it will be Lukaku 100%. And then I think a lot will depend on Hazard as well. If he gets back in shape, then we got an extra player, you know, because he's been struggling obviously. De Bruyne, I hope he doesn't suffer too much from his from the injury.
That's right. I think they're saying he'll probably miss the first game. So hopefully back after that.
I may be biased because I'm Belgian, but for me, De Bruyne it's top 3 in the world. I think he's unbelievable. And then we had a bad game, to be honest, a few days ago against Greece.
1-1 draw against Greece,
Wasn't really good. Defense didn't look good. But you can't think too much about those friendlies, I think.
The one thing I was going
to judge too much in friendlies, unless you're playing against Holland, and then you can judge them.
Yeah.
One thing I was looking at as I looked through the squad was defensively there's not much pace.
Yeah, then they should take me. If they need pace, they need to.
But we were shocked you weren't named in the squad.
With my speed, I'm shocked as well. I'm not gonna lie.
And your long range shooting. Well, you've got the Belgian group. Got Russia, which will be a week today, actually, the 12th. Denmark and Finland, but there's also a friendly on Sunday against Croatia.
Yeah, Croatia.
At home as well. So if you could kick a few lumps out of Modric and stuff like that, would be lovely.
Would be good.
Soften them up. But Russia, Denmark, Finland. I mean, you're expected to win that group, surely, yeah?
It should be, It should be. I think if you see the talent, there's no excuses for this, you know? So, who's got Scotland in the group?
Croatia, Czech Republic,
and
some wee team down south.
I can't remember. England.
That's an easy win.
That's the one we're all looking forward to.
That's a given.
They're probably already singing "It's coming home, it's coming home."
Oh, they're singing that all right. I didn't even put on my telly for the last week. I'm not putting it on next week either.
Back in Scotland, they have launched a big campaign, a big poster. I think it's in the city centre of Glasgow, and it's got the saltire and it says it's coming home with the home crossed out, and it says "Hame."
Him. I've seen it. I've seen it somewhere. Yeah. Oh, fantastic, man. Oh, too good.
Actually, Raymond, on the 1974 Scotland World Cup album, there's a version of Back Home. Do you remember in 1970 Back Home? The
I was
England
just
one.
I was born. I remember.
Well,
I know this.
You will have heard it. You will have heard it, and it was called Back Home. It was the same song, but like Dennis Lowe and guys like that singing it, and it was Back Home. In fact, there's a good programme on last night. We should catch it on the BBC iPlayer if you haven't seen it. About Scotland World Cup, or competition songs. You know, it was very entertaining, worth watching.
Yeah,
I've seen a song passing on Twitter about Scotland, from Scotland. No.
There has been recently. The what they call the Fontaines.
Oh man, I was in stitches. There were like a few famous faces. I saw Charlie McGrew was in it, I think.
Yeah.
It
was La Fontaines, I think it is.
Yeah, that was funny as well.
It's not exactly a great song, but it will do. You know,
it's a horrible song, but it's so good.
It's got the kind of tune of "Yes Sir, I Can Boogie" going through it, hasn't it? It's kind of sampled that a bit, hasn't it? Yeah. It's got that in it, and who else is there? Our former manager pops up at one point.
Caldwell, yeah.
Yeah, Gary Caldwell was in it as well, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, the Yes Sir, I Can Boogie, that's been very famous again as well, huh?
Yeah. Well, it was. And then, of course, the man who made it famous, Considine.
Yeah, he's not in the squad.
He's not in the squad, no.
Not the squad. No.
You know.
But you got a good squad as well, I think.
It's certainly looking good in the squad.
I think so too. I think it's. I'm not getting carried away, but I do think we've got a stronger squad at the moment than we have had for quite a time. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, if Kevin now comes in the team as well, it looks like a potentially very good striker. If I see how he's done in the last years, it's brilliant. This Lyndon Dykes I liked as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you got a.
And the midfield. I mean,
the midfield is unbelievable.
That's the strongest part of the Scotland squad. There's no doubt in that.
The midfield.
Yeah.
100% John McGinn has to play, no?
I think so too.
Absolutely.
And
you'll get goals from him as well. That's the thing. Not just his play. His shooting ability. Yeah,
McTominay's. It's got to be a shoe-in because just for the energy and his work rate as well. And
he's probably the best player a couple of weeks ago, that United Cup final.
Yeah.
Which was a pure game, but I think he played really well.
Yeah, and he's got a goal in him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his height is a big thing at set pieces. So it's another one. Jack at the back, and Stephen Adolph-Sod, obviously.
I spoke to Sod a few weeks ago. Good. Crazy.
It's not a bad squad. It's one of those ones you're trying not to get too carried away. I watched this the other night, and when we're missing six of probably the starting lineup for the Czech Republic game, playing that well, and you go, well, this squad's actually better than maybe even we all realised, as fans, the depth there.
Yeah, you got a squad that can do something special, I think, like
would be special.
What?
Getting out the group would be special.
Yeah, but I mean that, and then maybe like one survive another round or something. You never know, it looks like also a squad that's good together, like all friends and stuff. So that's really good.
And I think they're organised. You can see that in the park. You can see Steve Clarke as a good coach and a good manager, and he's got them organised. They all seem to know what they're doing. Even the goal that Jack Henry got the other day, he was like pushing the striker way up the park. He shouldn't, most teams he wouldn't have been there. When that ball broke to him and outside the box, he had it from 20 yards, Aye, it's great.
Yeah, that's good.
What's the expectation level, Freddie, for Belgium? Back over there.
Expectation level is, I think everybody's a little bit scared of France, obviously, because they beat us in the World Cup in the semi-finals as well. And France, look, their squad is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. We are very good, but they're like next level, I think so. But I think everybody expects us to to win it. You know, I not expects us, but wants us to win it, because for a small country like us, it's been now like what, 8 years or something, 6 to 8 years that we've had an amazing squad, and everybody's like, this can't stay forever a squad like this. So we need to take something and try to win something with this squad. So and yeah, maybe
somebody in the press actually said, you know, that they've been talking now for years with the squad that Belgium have got as dark horses, and suggested that there's more chance of them, if they don't do something soon, it's more like a story of Black Beauty rather than the team, because some of the players are, you know, there's certainly another next year's the World. So there is still that. But I would say after that, a lot, that's kind of, if you like, golden generation, I suppose you could call it.
Yeah.
They probably will not feature after that, a lot of them.
To be honest, like we got a good generation coming up as well. So it's not like it's completely finished, because if you see some of the young boys, like you say, Trossard, Doku, I don't know if you know him, Doku, the one from...
he's the squad.
He's very good. Tielemans is still young. De Donker is young. So we got still good guys coming. But yeah, we miss a boy like Company, and like Vertongen is one of the leaders. He'll be out soon. Alderweireld is getting a little bit older. So the real top players are getting maybe out of it. And Hazard, we're not sure what's going to happen with him.
Yeah,
he can still give another.
Yeah, he's still got another big date, another couple of.
So, not sure. Yeah, it can feel like a missed chance if we don't take anything now.
Well, I mean, I remember, I think it's 82, it was either 82 or 86 World Cup, and Belgium, really, really good team. I think was it 86 World Cup?
The Mexico one, was it?
Yeah, I think that was it. And again, the expectation, you know, was because players, you know, that were playing it, and they were a great team to watch. It kind of reminds me a wee bit, you know, the last few years watching Belgium.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that period, you know.
Yeah, it's to be honest, we have a good coach, Martinez. He brought in a system, and he always plays the same system, the 3-5-2, 3-4-3 something. And you can see it works for us. But obviously, it's not easy to win a tournament. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, the semi-final we lost against France. We were much better than France, but France won. They were like, I remember Giroud was on his own 16-yard box. He was defending there, and France took us on the counter, one chance, bam, goal. So, yeah, it's like the Champions League as well. Man City, they want to win the Champions League, but it's not because you're the best team that you win the Champions League. It can go quickly in one game, you know. So
it's been taking your chances at the right time.
Yeah. So,
but I'm really looking forward to international football tournament coming up, you know, because we've all been, you know, we're all going mad with this, you know, at home at the moment. So at least we'll get to see it all on the telly, you know. I mean, it's a different thing because it's not in the one country and it's all over the place. But international football, I always look forward to a whole month of that. It's always great, you know.
Would you guys have gone to the games from Scotland?
I wouldn't personally. I'm not a traveller with Scotland. You've been to a few, Raymond,
I've done about half a dozen in my life, and it's a good experience. And I think, you know, in different times and things have been different. Yeah, I think, you know, I'd have probably at least tried to get to one of the games, whether it was at Hampden or, you know, or maybe a last 16 game if we qualify. You know, which obviously we hope we do. I just hope we don't meet Belgium too early. Or the French, actually.
You guys beat French, and then we beat you guys.
All right, okay. So we beating the French in the semis then, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you know how, look, we beat the French twice and still didn't qualify a few years back, you know.
Remember? Yeah.
You know, so
easy.
You know, these things happen.
I know, Freddy, you've been following. You still follow things back at Firhill, and it's been a busy time at Firhill. Manager Ian McCaw was on a couple of weeks ago with us. It's been busy tying up the squad this season. But we were talking about this last night on the phone. the video of Scott Tiffany signing is just over 1 million hits, more than 1 million views.
But I'm not gonna lie, from the 1 million views, I watched it 10,000 times already. I think it's so good. It's you want to rewatch it all the time. It's like I put it on. Yeah, beauty.
It's never going to be not funny, is it?
It's so good. Every time I show to all of my friends, also like a few boys that from my team, I showed them. They're all in stitches. It's so good. Really good.
I think it's the highest amount of views, and probably the most public Thistle have been since Kingsley, the mascot. If you
remember.
I remember
right.
Wow.
But it's been a great couple of months for Thistle, because I mean, I'm sure you were following it. You know, we weren't looking as if we were going to win that league. We were maybe going to be top 4, and then we stormed it at the end. Okay, Falkirk fell to bits, but we stormed it at the end, and since then you get that lift from that. You get that momentum, and Ian McCall straight away is getting a squad together for next season, and there's a lot of good feeling right about Farrell right now.
Yeah, you can feel it online as well. Obviously, I have to follow it online, but if I seen the results in the last weeks, so good, man. The one against Falkirk was really good. It was brilliant.
Well, that's one of those games that's going to go down. You know, okay, none of us could be there, but we all were watching it on our laptops or our big or YouTube on the telly or whatever. You know what I mean? We still had that shared experience, and probably even more so when you're sitting. It's okay watching it on the screen with your phone. See, when you're watching football at the ground and they're on their phones, I'm always like, get off your phone, you know, watch the game. You know. True. But it's a different shared experience, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was one of those games that is going to go down as one of those famous Thistle games.
Yeah, brilliant. What a result! What a way to win the league as well. In style. So
that was it. It was a style of football as well, I think.
It was.
I've seen the highlights.
That
very good.
Yeah.
I
said
that
that
team.
Great. We said just a bit about the style getting promoted that way, and as Alan says, and you know yourself from last season, getting promoted and then getting some good transfer business done and getting it done so early, you do get that bounce into the following season.
Yeah, but it looks like they're keeping the core team together. Like the boys who performed, and then maybe add a few additions, and then I can see, like, with our team this year, what it can do to keep boys together who won something actually together. It's very important to do that. Even actually, at Partick Thistle is the best example from so many years ago. The team I joined, they came also from League One, I think, and with Banzo, with Lawless, with James Craig, and with Conrad, Stott, and you came into a team where you could feel straight away they're all together, they fight for each other, and you get so much more results like this than you have a few individuals who are maybe better but don't work together. So I hope they can do it again. That would be nice.
It definitely feels as if we'll get that back again, that sort of feeling that we had those years back when we were all watching it and feeling that sort of togetherness. I think we've got that back again, so let's hope.
But that's what you guys want to see as well, huh? Like as fans as well. The club is like the identity of the club. Like, I loved it. That was the first thing I noticed when I came there. It's like, the club they're all friends, they're all like family a little bit. So that was nice.
Are you going to come back and play in Banzo's testimonial next year?
If he invites me, I'm coming. I'm so happy for Banzo. Wow.
Wow. Me too, actually. And he's had a fantastic season as well, I've seen coming back from injury problems and all the rest of it that he's had over the last few years.
It was hard for him. I mean, he got that cruciate ligament at a horrible time, and he struggled a lot with it. So I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, no, as I say, it's been brilliant 10 years, and it's good that the chance are, fans will be able to be there by then. God, I hope so by then. Otherwise, we're all in trouble.
But I think that's a good decision as well, Raymond, to defer it for a year just to make sure.
It's 1 year later now, the testimonial.
Yeah.
But that's better. You need fans there. Otherwise, there's no use to do it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the big thing. So, go back to the Euros. If you had to pick a final four, who would they be, Freddie?
So Belgium, France, Scotland, and
and what other?
No, let me think. I find it hard. I'm not sure what to think about. I think Portugal.
Portugal. I watched.
Group again. Their group's a tricky group, though, isn't it? That's Portugal.
Portugal in with France and Germany and Hungary. Yeah, Group F is France, Germany, Hungary, and Portugal.
Well, that's your group of death right there, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I don't think Germany survives it.
Because I think it's
maybe not. Maybe not.
Best third place teams as well, so it's a fair chance that they will come out it. And you look, I mean, Spain's group, they're in with Poland, Slovakia, and Sweden.
Yeah.
I wasn't that impressed with Spain last night watching them against the Portuguese. But again, like Freddie said, you know, it's a friendly. Yeah. Italy, they'll win their group. They get Switzerland, Turkey, and Wales. Holland are in with Austria, North Macedonia, and Ukraine.
But Holland is great. Austria is a decent team.
Getting quite a decent side together.
Yeah.
So, but I'll just take getting out the group for Scotland, and I definitely, there's no doubt if Scotland don't win it, then I think it would be fair to say most Thistle fans will be cheering on Belgium. I don't have a doubt about
that. Absolutely. I mean, we've just never got out of a group in any major competition. We've just never done it, you know. And there's been times we've had teams that were very capable of going much further than they did.
Yeah.
And it's just never happened, you know. So fingers crossed this time. You know?
They got now a good group and also a good tactic. They look solid. So that's maybe a good way to get out of group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Rather than that carefree attitude, you know, there's a cavalier style was to keep it solid and build from that base that we have.
Yeah, but I'm gonna watch the games because so many boys that I've played with or against are playing. It's nice.
Yeah. Well, listen, Freddie, we'll let you get on. I'm sure Jack's desperate to get out of that back garden, have you running about, and I know you've got training. You're back to training on Monday.
Yeah, Monday we start again. Yeah, we have a new coach, so it's going to be running again.
Looking forward to that.
To be honest, I'm always happy if I can play football, you know. So especially the older you get, in 4 or 5 years maybe there won't be a preseason for me, and then I'll be like at home. I wish I had a preseason. So try to enjoy it, you know. Obviously, it's not nice always the running and stuff, but it's football. What a job I have, you know. So I'm a lucky man. Yeah,
that respect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Freddie. It's so good to catch up with you again, and we'll try not to make it a year next time before we have you back on. I can't, as I say, I don't know where that year's going. It's incredible.
We could do a final preview when it's Belgium v Scotland in a month's time.
In the final.
Yeah, we'll do that the day before.
A huge thank you on behalf of everybody for continuing to watch the Jags Zoomcast. We have so much fun doing it and chatting with everybody, and it's just been really good. Next week we will be previewing the Czech Republic Scotland's opener with Thomas Cherney, who's coming on to join us. So I think there'll be a wee bit of banter back and forth for that game with Thomas. So that should be good fun. So thanks again all for watching. Enjoy your week. All stay safe, and Mon the Jags and Mon the Scotland.